Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. 1 minute. Uh,
To share PPT, what should I do also? Just tell me so that I
yes, yes,
put
sir.
my.
Yes, sir. I will tell you, sir. I will tell you, sir. 1 minute. A very good morning to our eminent speaker, Dr. K. Shiv Sai, sir, and dear students and colleagues. This is Dr. Manu Gupta from Assistant Professor in Department of ECM, and I'm the host for the event. And it gives me immense pleasure to welcome our eminent speaker and you all to this event on intellectual property rights and IP management for the startups. With great honor, I introduce Professor KSR Shivsai sir to our audience here. Professor KSR Shivsai sir has received his PhD degree in microbiology from Bharatiya University, Bhopal in 1993. Sir has also worked in AIMS, New Delhi for 7 years from 1987 to 1994 in area of leproscopy and arthritis at different levels. Sir has received a Young Scientist Award in 1998 from American Society of Transplant Physicians and Roche Transplant Research Fellowship Award in 1999 from International Society for Heart and Lung Transplantation. Presently, Sir is working as professor and head of the biotechnology department in Srinidhi Institute of Science and Technology, Hyderabad. He has many publications in national and international journals to his credit, and his research interests include infectious diseases, transplantation, asthma, and autoimmune diseases. 5 students are awarded doctorate under supervision of Dr. KSR Shivsai sir, and 2 are in the final stage of the completion of benchmark. Sir has also obtained specialization in intellectual property rights and patent law from Nalsar University of Law. Welcome to the event, sir. On the behalf of ECM
It's a
department,
pleasure.
I welcome you all.
It's a pleasure. Pleasure, Emma.
Thank you,
It's a
sir.
pleasure to meet all of you.
Thank you, sir. Uh, Sir, now I will be giving you the presentation, right, sir? So
Okay.
share your screen now, sir.
Okay, right. I am just opening the PPT.
Yes, sir. A share option will be coming, sir. You can share.
Definitely, definitely. Is the PPT visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
And it is full screen?
No, sir. Not full. Now it is full screen. Sir.
Okay. Thanks for giving this opportunity to share my views on IPR. I'm not an expert on IPR, but little got awareness on IPR. Being a biologist, we are very keen on that right from starting. And that's the reason why I took an initiative of doing the diploma in IPR. The purpose of this meet is, according to Amit and the group, is basically to give awareness on the intellectual property rights and specifically focusing on what SNAST people would like to know, and secondly, what we should know as Indians. So just I will be focusing on some of the topics of IPR, not in detail. And any queries, anytime, feel free to raise their doubts or in the middle or later, it is up to you. To start with, what intellectual property right means? The title itself says it has 3 words: 1, intellectual; 2, property; 3rd, rights. We need to understand all these 3. As I put in my question, what is intellect, why it should be considered as a property, and what rights one will get, and why law came in between, that is called IPR law, because whenever we talk about rights, it is associated with law. That is why law is involved. Then I will focus upon what is patents, who issues it, and other type of IPs which one should know as a faculty. Now the basic question comes to those 3 points. What is intellect means? Intellect refers to ability to create something, whether it in a product form or idea form, with the use of mind, or we call in short, creation of mind. So whatever you think new and which you can convert it into a product, that becomes innovation. That is what is called the intellect. Now intellect can be subcategorized into 3 categories. One is called invention, second is called innovation, third is called discovery. Okay, invention means create by thought, absolutely new, and it would take on an average 10 to 12 years to make an invention into a product form. Okay, that is absolutely new. Now the question comes, what is innovation? Innovation means incremental value addition. It is also an invention, but not the original creativity. It is add-on, incremental value addition. For example, to start with, old times a computer used to be in a big room. Today, you know, the computers are so short and so many things can be done. This all comes because of the electronics people integrating so many units into it. That is what is called incremental value addition. It is not a clear-cut invention. It is called innovation. The last comes under our category, which is called discovery. Like today, everyone is suffering because of the pandemic coronavirus. Now we discovered it. We have not created that virus. That virus is there in the universe. Suddenly today it has popped up and we are trying to understand what is coronavirus and how it causes the disease and how can we control. And all these are intellect only. But unfortunately, it doesn't come our invention. It doesn't come under innovation. It comes under a different title of intellect that is called discovery. We are discovering now because we have not created it. It is existing there. That is the difference between an invention and a discovery. Now coming to property. Why property? Because intellectual creation is vested with status of property. What it means? Because of the commercial value. Whenever an idea, intellect becomes money based, then automatically it is called property. Wherever there is a commercial value to anything, that becomes a property as per law. And what are rights? Right means exclusive permission given to those people within limits. For example, not exceeding one authority or entitlement, morally or socially correct, and liberty with restrictions. Okay, these are need to understand what is meant by liberty with restrictions. I don't know. We know all that freedom of speech is the main liberty to any individual in the country. Because it is liberty is what we call as a right, I cannot speak anything I like because people will object. If I say all the attendees today are not attentive or effective in their profession, will you accept it? Because it is my word, I have a word of speech. I can speak anything what I want. But will you accept it? You will not accept it. So that means right comes with restrictions. There is always restrictions and law. That is what meant by liberty with restrictions. Okay. Then secondly, there is something too important, what is called morally, socially correct. Moral doesn't change with situation. Moral remains always the same. It won't change with situation. But social correction changes with situation. For example, today any intellect created at the corona, if the government wants vaccines in a large scale, they have the right to remove IP and give it to everyone because it is a requirement, social requirement. So that moral is fixed. Just to make you understand in a simple way, if you see the whole story of Ramayana, Rama was always confused between moral versus social correctness. What is it? He sent Sita away based on someone's word of her character. Morally, she proved by calling Agni Pravesham that she is absolutely right. There is nothing wrong. That is called moral. Moral will never change. She is strong. but still Rama left her into forest for simple reason because society did not accepted that words, and as a king he respected the society's judgment rather than the moral judgment. That is what is the difference. If you see all these stories, the king is always confused between what is right in moral sense, what is right in social sense. So law also looks into social versus moral activity. Now, if you understand these words, what is intellect, why it became property, because commercial value, and the rights comes with restrictions, that is what is called the intellectual property rights. Okay, so even our intellect has money value, creation value, and hence law came into the picture. Okay, wherever money is there, it comes into the picture. You can say, sir, is IPR something new? Definitely not. IPR is such an old story. When the human race existed, IPR is there from that day because it is creation of mind. So one human race, IPR is there from that day. If you see the first flint stones to make a fire is an invention. The wheel is an invention, bow, arrow, the way they used to hunt, everything is an invention. But they never thought to commercialize that inventions. They gave everything for the social requirement without making any money. But every aspect is an invention. But the typical IPR commercial issue started in 15th century. That is, Greek states were first to grant patents in 15th century. Till then, whatever is created by intellects, they have donated it to society as a free. Now, that means in 1949, the first patent was granted in Venice, Germany, to exploit an ore mine, the right to use the required water, timber for the operation. How much timber has to be used, how much water has to be used to get the ore purified, the mine. That is called process patent today. Because mine is naturally available. I told you discovery. Nature just mine means nature has created it. No man has created the mines. But we are trying to extract it. That is called process patent today. So there is a process patent, there is a product patent. We will go a little bit later to understand what is the difference between the two. So that is how presently technology has become important, because now, as I told you already, it is a wealth creator. That means money is involved. But whenever we talk about IPR, there is called fencing tool. That means what is the extent you can protect your intellect. Just to make you understand the significance of this, I know majority of you would have one of the properties in terms of house, flat, or whatever it is. Okay, someone sold you a flat, you purchased it. Why you need to get registered? It is an understanding between you, the seller, and you, the buyer. Why you need to go to a government office for registration? The answer is very simple. If tomorrow any fight comes, there is some body to protect that, yes, I paid money to this asset. That is where the law comes, because it is involvement of money. That is what is happening in IPR. I told you money is involved now as based on the intellect. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen the document of your house or flat. If you see last sheet, there is something called fencing tool. That's what I am trying to explain what is fencing tool. If you say flat number 101 is yours, they can simply write 101 flat belongs to some X. But it is not written like that in that document. What they write in the document is something facing on the north, some 102, something on the south, 104, something towards the west, something number. In between flat is yours. They will not say this flat is yours. They will say surrounding area and then telling what is in between these four is yours. If you see, go and see the map of the houses, they will put all the directions, and the document is written that everything in between covered by these areas is your thing. That is what meant by fencing tool. That means you have to be able to tell what exactly your invention is so that it can be protected better. If I say 101 is your flat, tomorrow I will change my flat number from your number from 101 to 102. Now you cannot even claim that is your flat. But you cannot change the surroundings. That is where the surety is given either in a land document or a house document. That is what is called fencing. Fence means properly protect your inventions. Okay, so that is what you have to do for your intellect also. Otherwise, your intellect becomes a disseminated one. Everyone will steal it because there is no proper fencing. Okay. Now you may ask, what is the importance of IPR in today's world? If you see the pre-industrial era, labor is the most important thing, and knowledge is very less. The people with knowledge are very minimal, and capital investors are less. Labor is maximum. But as the trend changed, industrial era, so much of instrumentation came into the picture. Now knowledge started increasing. If you can see here and here, knowledge started increasing, capital started increasing, but labor is going down. But if you see the present era, which is called the knowledge economy, you can see everywhere talking knowledge committees and all that. Now knowledge is the most important dominating era, and capital is increasing along with this, but labor, you can see it reduces with time. Okay, labor reduces it with time. So knowledge has become the powerhouse and the money-making process. That is where everyone is focusing upon what the power of the knowledge is. That is why the importance of IPR has picked up drastically in the last 10 years. Otherwise, IPR is nothing new. Now the question comes, sir, what is intellect, and do I have the ability of intellect? But intellect needs to have certain basics. Then only creativity will be coming out. What are the basics? First, creative thinking skill. That is our individual thought. That means we should have the capacity to think outside the box and putting existing ideas together into a new combination. That is what our review of literature means. The more I study, the more gaps I can identify. The more gaps I can identify, more creation I can do. Okay, that is what meant by creative thinking. Don't think creative thing comes out of box only. Out of box inventions are hardly 1 to 2%, and they are unique inventions. For example, Bill Gates, the computers. Okay, that is unique, but not everyone can do that. Only 2 to 5% of unique things comes out of box, but majority of the inventions comes based on the existing knowledge, combination of knowledges, putting existing ideas together into a combination. That is why we are studying, we are educating ourselves so that we can become efficient in this domain. The second important is motivation, internal motivation. How much ideas you have, if people doesn't support you, then that inventions cannot happen. That is what is called internal motivation and external motivation. Motivations from within your need, as well as passion to create, and equal support, that is the resource. If there are no resources, whatever great ideas we have, you cannot implement. If they don't have an infrastructure, support system, money, you cannot do anything else. That is what is called the resources, proper resources, which is your knowledge, expertise, and access to relevant information and infrastructure also. If all there are there, then this creativity domain, which is in the center, I hope you can see the cursor which I am moving, right? Yeah. So that is called the creativity domain. Then only the creativity will happen. Don't sit and say, okay, one day I can think great. It will never happen. As I told you, that sort of inventions are only 2 to 5%, but majority of the inventions comes from these three domains of understanding. Okay. So coming to concepts, now yes, everyone has realized. That is why the world organizations has realized the importance. I will not focus on these organizations because that are totally a different conventions and other things. But to make short, there are different organizations now in the world to protect our intellect. Okay, just to make you understand what is this TRIPS, that is trade related intellectual property right, I will just try to explain in short. That is, if you see automobile industry work is initiated and well developed in USA, America. The Detroit, I don't know how many of you know, mechanical engineers and automobile. Detroit is called the automobile hub of the world because the initial car inventions, bulbs and everything, Einstein's, A.D. Einstein's, all these are from Detroit, particularly automobile. Okay, but today how many that, for example, to tell you Ford company, GM company, American companies, but how many cars they are able to sell today? But they are the initiators, inventors of automobile industry. What Japan did, they purchased a car from Ford, took it back to their country, they have dismantled, they saw what is there, they identified the gaps and they started preparing cars. Today, you know, I don't need to tell you, all Japanese cars and German cars are more sold out than the American cars. What Japanese did? Only innovation, no invention. The same is with VCR. So many technologies they stole from US. That is where now they put a law, trade related. That means anything you buy from one country to the other as a purchase, and if you copy, then the country will be penalized. That country will be penalized heavily. That is what is meant by TRIPS agreement, trade related intellectual property rights. In the process of the name of trade globalization, we are moving so many products from one country to another, and invention should not be stolen. Today, the bigger organization is called WIPO, that is called World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, W-I-P-O, WIPO. Okay, all these are merged and now it became WIPO. That is a different topic, but just to make you understand, there is an organization available to take care of these things today. Now coming to IPR, sir, how the IPR is classified? Basically, IPR is classified into two. One is called industrial rights, as you can see on the top. The second is called copyrights. There are two categories, industrial rights and copyrights. What is industrial rights? Refer to all those things which are useful for industry and in commerce. They come under industrial rights. What are copyrights? They are literary and artistic work, some comes under copyrights. Under industrial rights, there are again further subdivision of rights. That is called patents. Today we will focus what is patents, because our college and many of the people say, oh, we got this many patents. The confusion is we did not got patents, we got IPs. Patent is different, IPs are different. Within IPs, these are all subcategories. This is called patents, trademarks, copyright we will focus upon, industrial design and integrated circuits I will focus upon, and GI also I will tell you, because it is very important. As an Indians, we should know what is our traditional things and how valuable those informations are. Okay, but I'll try to cover in short. But patents, industrial design and integrated circuit is very important for ECE and ECM people. Copyrights, which also is important, we'll focus a little bit more on that. Okay. Now, I already summarized, I don't want to repeat, because IPR law is creation, vesting and use of IP rights, where it has to be protected so that it will be of use. And when we say why protect IPR, this is what these issues will come into. To prevent others using it. Why are you protecting your IP? It is like this. Why I purchase a house? So that no one will occupy it without my permission. Not that you will use that house. Please remember, there is two issues here. When I protect my IPR, not that I will use it. I don't want to allow others to use it. That is what the first law is, to prevent others using it. Okay, to prevent others using it for financial gain. Say, for example, I will ask you a question. You have a piece of land, not constructed or anything, and one day a poor lady comes and sleeps in that ground. Will you object? Will you object? The answer is no. If after 10 days it becomes a rainy season, now she thinks, sorry, I cannot sleep here. She will start putting a small hut. Then what you will do? Will you object or will you leave it? You will start objecting it. Okay? We will start objecting. Why? because that is what meant by to prevent others using it for financial gain. That means they are investing on your land now. They've started putting a hut. That means they are doing investment. If they are doing investment, they will start getting rights if you don't object. So that is why we object. Now fulfill an obligation to your funder. Why the right is given to you? Because you have invested money. You can make any decision you want, whether you want to use that house or you want to resell with that house or you want to lock it and keep it. All rights are with you. Okay? Or will you stay in that or not also? It is up to you. But all possible rights are given to you. That is what meant is to fulfill an obligation to the investor or the funder. That funder means investor. To support an income generation strategy. Why we are all buying this and this today? If I buy something for 10 lakhs, you are expecting after 5 years or 6 years, it may become 20 lakhs. That is why we are income generation strategy. If you think you buy something today for 10 lakhs, after 5 years, it becomes 5 lakhs, will you buy it? Definitely not, because there is no income generation, no investment will be done. So everyone is expecting from your intellect creation, we can create wealth. That is why we are trying to protect. The first basic thing which is required to know is patents. Okay. Now I am focusing on patents. You should be very clear what is patents, what are other things are, because I made it very clear, because I know what all is there in Srinidhi, which we call our IP rights. And as my knowledge, we don't have a single patent also. What we have is called IP rights, and I'll show you which type of IP rights we have in that process. Okay. So first to understand patent, because this is the word everyone is used to, everyone is hearing a lot, and that is what patent means. Patent is nothing but a techno-legal document. Please remember, it is a document issued by government upon applying, or in short, it is called techno-legal document. Okay, like your house property document, it is a IP created document which government is certifying that it is your intellectual creation. That's all. So when we call a patent, patent is a document issued upon application, government office or agency, that is called today IP offices. What does the patent has? It explains, because I told you like your house document, fencing tool, you have to explain your patent. A patent describes an invention and creates a situation in which the invention can be protected and permission is given exclusively to the patentee who has created it. Okay, the right created by a patent is a monopoly right to the inventor. Like just now I told you, if you buy a house, you are a monopoly. Will you stay there? Will you lock it? Will you sell it? Will you rent it? The choice is yours, monopoly. The same is with the invention. If an inventor does something, now he has all choice. He can start something on its own, make it a commercial unit by himself, or he can license it to someone else, or he can sell it totally to someone else, or he can make an agreement with someone else, 50-50%, like that. The total rights are given to inventor. I hope you can see the cursors which I am moving, right? On the screen, if it's moving?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the whole rights are given to the inventor. Okay. Now, right, when I say right, sir, how long that right holds? The right is only for specific period of time. Like, I don't know how many of you know, for your house documents also, there is a specific land or house documents. There is a specific time where if you don't pay your property tax for 12 years, or if you don't make sure that no one is occupying that house for 12 years, or one person is continuously occupying that house for 12 years, he gets the rights on that place. Okay, that is why people always ask to vacate. After 3-4 years, they ask the tenants to vacate because rights cannot be handed over to them. So every patent has a specific period of time. For techno patents, it is 20 years. You can put this patent right is for 20 years. That means if you do an invention, the minute you file, from the day of filing to the extent you will get up to 20 years rights. After that, it becomes public property. In 21st year, if anyone using that idea, you cannot claim them, you cannot sue them. So if your patent is creative, you will only make money in the first 20 years. Otherwise, there is nothing you can do after that. Now, what is patentable? What I can do as a patent? There are three things which IP looks into, that is called novelty. The first issue they look is novelty. The second issue they look is non-obviousness. The third they look is industrial utility. That means any invention should have these 3 points. Now I will explain what is the 3 points. What is novelty? Novelty means we always say it is something new. Okay, we always say something new, but it is very difficult to explain and prove what is new. What is new, it is very difficult to explain. For example, if I am the shirt which I am wearing, I will say it is absolutely a new idea of this shirt because none of the participants here has that shirt. So will you accept it as a new? Then you will say, sir, we are only 60 people. If you go out and see in Hyderabad, there may be a lot of people. Suppose there is no one in Hyderabad, will it be new? Then you will say state of Telangana, you can verify, sir. If it is Telangana and no one is there, is it new? The broad, so prove something which is new is very difficult. What you can prove is it is not present anywhere. That is a simple statement. That is what is called absence. If you can see, I am moving my cursor. Novelty is not something which can be proved or established. Its absence can be proved. I am telling it is not present anywhere. Now it is for the objection people to prove it is present somewhere. My job is done. I am saying this is new. I am telling it is not present anywhere as per my information source. If someone has an objection, he has to prove whether it is present or not. So that is the issues. Okay. So novelty essentially means that invention should be something new where people cannot object to your inventions. Okay. Now this is very important statement you have to keep in mind. What is new is said to be exist in public domain. Not new is said to be exist in public domain. If it is available anywhere as an information source, then automatically that patent will not be approved because information is already existing, and that is called prior art. As per IP law, that word is called prior art. Prior art means that information is existing somewhere in public domain. Then it cannot be a novelty. The second thing is that idea, or a very good idea. How to prove it is a very good idea or a new idea? I will ask you a simple question to all of you. Maybe you can do your guess because if it's open, we would have an interaction. Say there was a party in our ECE department. We are all standing at the principal's office and it is heavily raining. And you have to, and the condition is you have to reach ECE department without getting wet on your head. Only those people will be permitted inside. What you people will do? We are 50, 60 people. So we all has to go and it is heavily raining and head should not be wet. What we will be doing? Use umbrella. Someone, very good, please put under charts. Umbrella, use umbrella. How many of you people will do that? For that, umbrella is a requirement. But I am putting a condition. If umbrella is not there, what you will do? Please put charts. It's more of, that's how you will, your thoughts will come out. Now you will see what is obvious and non-obvious. None of the things we have. So for example, if you have office bag, what you will do? You will try to put it on the head and go. Even if office bag is not there, what you will do? If it is girls, they will put chunnis on their heads and go. If it is shirts, boys, people will open 2 buttons, put this shirt on the top of the head and go. Now, is it comes under obvious thinking or non-obvious thinking? That is the issue. A common thinking comes under obvious thinking, and obvious thinkings are not patentable. Obvious thinkings are not patentable. It is simple common sense. A simple common sense cannot be patented. Umbrella is not a simple common sense. It is a creativity. And umbrella is patented, the people made a lot of money and they came out. I'll give you some examples later to show what is the value add. So that means any creativity should not be obvious. It should be non-obvious. That means what you are creating, that idea should not strike to someone else. If it is striking to someone else, it becomes common thinking. That is what you have to prove. That is what is called non-obvious thinking. That invention is your own creation. It did not struck to anyone else. That is what meant by non-obvious. Okay, invention should possess sufficient inventive step which should appear non-obvious to persons skilled in the same art. What does it mean is, if electronic chips will come and explain to me, everything is absolutely new for me. If I come and tell biology for you, basic biology, will say, what a new information, I don't know it. But is it reality new information? No. Who has to certify? That is what is called person skilled in the same art. That means electronic chips has to be assessed by electronic engineer only. Biology products has to be assessed by a biologist only, because that is what they know, what is obvious versus non-obvious thinking. So that is what meant by obvious means the person should evaluate who belong to the same domain. And thinking should not be obvious, thinking should be non-obvious. And the last is utility. Any creation we do, if it is of no utility, no one will buy it, no one will use it. That means it doesn't have any value of converted into cash. That is what the issue is. If invention cannot be converted into cash, no one is bothered. Just now I already told, if someone says this land will not grow even after 10 years, no one will invest on that land. So it has to have growth rate. Utility is another thing which we have to explain. But when it comes to utility, there are two types of utility, which comes, I will just tell you a simple thing. When we go what are not patentable, I will try to explain there. It becomes easy to understand. Someone may ask, sir, really we can make money out of IPR. And you all know very well what is this. It's a can opener. You see today in every technology, beverage cans. And this opener, he has patented, as I gave you information here. The inventor sold it to Coca-Cola, 1/10 of a penny per can. That means whenever you open a can, if it is 50 rupees, 1/10 of that money goes into the inventor's account. And now during that period, I'm just giving you information, the validity of the patent, that investor is to make 1,48,000 UK pounds a day on royalties. That means you can think how many were you drinking Coke and opening the can. The minute you open the can, the money goes into his account. And Coca-Cola, then they sold out these patents to all other companies so that they can make money. And what this whole process tells is, yes, if you have a good intellectual invention, you can definitely make money. Okay, these are related to our life sciences subjects, which I will not focus upon. This is very important for you to understand at this point. What are not patentable? Amit also asked me to just focus on what are not patentable. That means you cannot convert into IPs. Okay. The first and the foremost, this is what I told you, utility. I will explain a little bit later. An invention which is frivolous, that is well established against natural laws, is not accepted for patent. For example, I will give you, if you see in American cars, every American car will have a small radar which will detect the police cars. Okay, So they go with high speed. Whenever there is a police car close to it, that it gives a signal beep, 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 beep. So that means police car is close by. Everyone reduces the speed. Then once they cross the car, they again go with high speed. Now, is it an invention? Excellent invention. Now, can it be patented giving this as a utility reason? The answer is no, because what we are doing, it is against natural law. Why that speed is kept? Speed is kept for the safety of the people. Why police is checking? For safety of people. Now you are creating an invention to override that safety. And henceforth it is not accepted. But the same invention is already patented. On what basis? Utility. What is the utility? Sir, that will help in protecting the borders when someone is crossing the borders through triplane or some other mechanism, our radars will sense them. So immediately you can block the entry of those people. So that is what meant by frivolous thought. Frivolous thought means if you create invention against the danger aspects, that even though it is invention, absolute creativity, but utility is wrongly spelled, it cannot be given patent. The same is with atomic bomb. Atomic bomb technology is not protected, bomb creation. But atomic energy utilization is patented. Okay, so try to understand what is patentable. Utility is very important. How you explain the value of your patent is very important. That is what meant by utility, the need. Okay, so need should be supporting the laws, but it should not be against the natural laws. The second, any invention, the primary intended use against the law, morality, or injurious to public health is not at all acceptable. These two I have clubbed and already explained. Anything against the law is not accepted. The third, mere discovery of a scientific principle or formulation of an abstract theory, scientific theories or mathematical methods are not acceptable under patents. That means today, if you take an example of mathematics, they always create formulas. What is that formulas? They are something related to some symbols or 0 to 9. The same numbers are utilized. Only they are doing is putting on a different formats. Now, can that be patented? Theoretically, it doesn't come under patents, under the heading of patent. But is it a creativity? The answer is yes. Now, mathematical models are included as a separate ID. It is included as a separate ID under copyrights and other rights. Well, if time permits, I will focus. Otherwise, algorithms are protected today under a different model. But it is not called patent. It is called a mathematical IP protections. So try to understand, we are using in Srinidhi everything patent, 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 but there is a lot of difference between a patent is a technical invention. Other inventions are IPs, different IPs. Okay, so a typical mathematical models, typical scientific theories are not patentable as per law because they come under discovery. I told you discovery means we are only trying to find what is existing, we have not created. But even identifying what is existing is also a creativity. But unfortunately, it is not protected under IPs, I mean patents, and the heading of patent. That way it comes under different IPs. Okay, these examples why I put is this discovery model, because I told you all our biology work comes under discovery, because we never created disease pathogens. I never created coronavirus. It was there. It came suddenly today. But we are trying to understand. So all that contribution scientists are made should be protected. That law is changed today, and who changed that law, I will make it short, is an Indian. We should be proud. You can see his name here. His name is Anand Chakrabarti. He is the first one to change that law that discoveries can also be patentable, provided provided man intervention is there. Here is the last statement I am giving you. Man, that means scientist intervention should be there. That is how all living organisms today come under patentable formats. But what you have to show is, I have modified something. Okay? To make you short, I am putting that law is changing now. That's why I'm putting under discoveries, because discoveries, I already told you, is not patentable. Okay? Discoveries of material already in nature is not patentable. But if you do some modifications, which we call today genetic engineering, we change them. Just to give you examples, most of you know, insulin injections which people take today for diabetes, that is a human insulin. But how can you create human insulin from humans? Who will give? No one will give. So what biologists did today is, we put that human insulin into a bacteria. Now that bacteria creates human insulin. In nature, can a bacteria create human product? The answer is no. But today we are making a bacteria to secrete for us insulin. And today what people are using human insulin is not produced in humans. It is produced in a smallest bacteria called E. coli. It will produce insulin. That is why it is called invention of people. And that is what under 4, when discoveries are not permitted. But now, if you show that I have created, modified, then for good of the society, it will be patentable. Now, 5th point, which is not patentable, is called mere discovery of any property of known substances. Suppose today you find a drug A, that is what is happening in coronavirus today. You have seen Remdesivir or some medicines government is saying this is used for another virus. It is also effective for corona, you use it. Now, is it a new discovery? Yes, because what is used for virus A, we are using for coronavirus also. And someone has studied and they said it is effective for corona. But will it be patentable? The answer is no, because it is mere discovery of any new property or new use of the same known substance. A is already known. It protects some virus. Now I am saying it will protect new virus also. So that means that there's nothing new I have created as a product, only I have studied. So that sort of things doesn't come under patent. That is what this word is, mere discovery of any new property, new character of the known substance will not come under this. That's why I gave you here in short, compound A has a property B, cures X disease, is already known. Now I am saying compound A, same thing. There is a new property for it, C, and also cures a new disease called D. Will it be accepted as a patent? The answer is no. Okay. Now 6th, this is very important because electronics people and others will come into it. Use, one more 7th is mere use of a known process unless it yields new product or employs at least one new reactant is not patentable. Just to make you understand, I have put a simple way here. If you see as an example, B, C, D ingredients are mixed. Okay, I put B, C, D and mix them by a process called X1, X2, X3, and I got a product called compound A. Okay, and this compound A will do some function. Okay, but now some fellow comes and says, sir, I have B, C, D just to modify. What is this? They said at least one new reactant. So I have added E. Okay, process is same. Yes, X1, 2, 3. Now I got a compound B. Definitely I will get a new compound because I have added E. Now is it patentable? The answer is no. If B will do the same function like A. If the answer is no, if B will do the same function like A, but if B can do a different function, if B can do a totally different function, then it is patentable. Is it clear? I hope I made it clear. If B can do a totally different function from A, then it is patentable. Then it becomes product patent. Please remember, it becomes product patent, but not process patent, because process is same. Process is same, but product is different with a different function. Next, this seventh point, mere admixtures only in aggregation of properties, is it patentable? That means, for example, we had phones previously. Now phones are coming with camera. Now phones are coming with video camera. All these technologies, are they patentable? The answer is no. But are they commercialization? Can they do? The answer is yes. It is in the public domain. That's why every product will have a camera. Every ex-company of Koti also will put some camera. No one can object. Why? Simply because mere admixtures. You are only adding. You are adding camera. You are adding something. You are adding radio. You are putting something. Which radio is already existing. You are only adding to the phone now. Camera was already existing. You are only adding to your phone now. So mere addings doesn't give additional, it may give additional value, but it will not be called as a invention or a innovation. So hence that is not patentable. Okay. So that is what meant by admixtures are not patentable. This is 8 is very, very, very important for electronics and ECMs, which is called mere arrangement or rearrangement or duplication of known devices for each functioning independently of one another in a known way is not acceptable. And unfortunately, all electronics chips comes under this category. What you do in electronics chips, you are creating a devices. What is the devices? You are taking a known some what we call transmitter or whatever you are putting there. You are putting welding and you are pasting that and creating a chip. Every unit is independently created already. What you people are doing now, you are aligning it as per your concept. All units are independent. You are aligning them as per your concept now. Is the concept new? The answer is yes. But is the ingredients new? The answer is no. But now, should a chip be protected or not? Because that is not protected under patent now. Because what patent says, mere arrangement or rearrangement or duplication of known devices are each functioning independently of one another in a known way is not acceptable, and that is what is chip is. Then where to protect it? That alignment itself is also a thought. That creation itself is a thought. That is why there is a new IP. Please remember, it comes under IP. I am making it very clear because we are using patent for everything in college. Patent is a different thing. IP is a different thing. In IP, there is something which I will focus shortly now, that is called electronic circuits and integrated designs, which is a new IP for all electronic chips. Okay, so that is what this example I used to tell people here. I have given you examples in short. There is a stamp and pen together. You know, you have seen these pens are not cap and fan. Okay, all these inventions. Okay, and we have pens with red pen, green pen, refill all in one. Is it patentable? The answer is no. Why? It is just mere arrangement and rearrangement or duplication of things which are functioning in a known way. So it doesn't come, and unfortunately all electronics comes under this category under patents. That's why a new IP is created for electronics. Okay, mathematical equation, I told you algorithms, there is a new IP now for it under IP laws. Last, a method of agriculture and horticulture. This is a biology. That means that like how to put a plant, how to grow a plant is there for years. So all these are not patentable. Okay. Any process of medicinal, surgical, curative, prophylactic, that means vaccines, any other treatment of human being, animals, plants, anything, unless and until a man intervention is there, it cannot be patented. Okay, there are 9 criteria. You have to see whether your invention is falling there, then if it becomes non-patentable. Now the question is, sir, if we are talking so much, if I create a patent, if someone steals away, what should I do? The answer is that is called infringement. Infringement means someone is taking away your IPs. Okay. In your law, if you purchase a house, someone is taking away your house or land, who should react and who should do it? Government will not come. You only have to react for it. The same way in IP, if someone is stealing your IP, you have to keep track whether someone is stealing your IP or not. No one will come and tell you. Okay, you have to keep track whether someone is stealing or not. If you know they are stealing it, then you have to file a case, and that is called patent infringement. Now, the importance I want to tell you is it very important. In infringement, again, there are 2. I'll just tell you in short. It is called literal infringement. Okay, literal infringement and infringement of doctrine of equivalence. There are 2 types of infringement. What is literal infringement means? Lifting everything what you have done directly. Okay, lifting everything from that place directly. For example, we keep on hearing in students, sir, I lost my money from the bag. Sir, I lost my cell phone from the bag. Why that fellow did not took the whole bag? Why you only took cell phone or money from it? He would have taken the whole bag. Whole bag lifting is called literal infringement, and no one will do it because identification becomes easy. If I lift the whole bag and go, someone will say, "Arey, your bag some fellow is taking," because they can identify the bag easily. That is called literal, full taking away. No one will do that. The second is called infringement of doctrine of equivalence. That means they will take away only some components of your inventions, which you won't even realize also. Like I told you, some cell phone is taken away from the bag. Money is left. Now question will come is, when the inspection happens, what people will say, "Arey, if someone has stolen it, they would have stolen money also. Why only phone?" So that means probably you would have forgot your phone somewhere. The question will come back to you only. Maybe you forgot your phone. Money is there, phone is taken away. But money is taken away, phone is left. Again, the same question will come. They will question you only, not the stealer. That is what meant by doctrine of equivalence. They will take away small bits of your invention without even realizations. Okay. So both cases you can do and you can fight. But in law, there is something called, I'm just giving some words you can understand, procedural history of estoppel. That means estoppel means creating hurdles for yourself. No one creates hurdles for anyone. It is creating hurdles for yourself. That's why you see in court of law, they will say, whenever you talk, you should be careful in your words. If you talk something, immediately you will be caught for that word. Okay. This is an example between 2 companies. One company, I'm making it short rather than detailed. They've created a chemical which works very well between 6 and 9. Okay. And they fought and they filed for a patent. So this company, these are the companies which I'm making it short. One company said, sir, I already told it works very well at 9.5 or something. Now this fellow is only making from 6 to 9 and is coming and telling it is a new invention. But at that point, that company was defending it, sir, there is a lot of difference between 9 and 9.5. Okay. So they said, okay, no problem. And they gave a patent. Next time, some other company, same thing, they said, sir, it is working very well at 5.5. What is his line? 6 to 9. So the other company came and said, sir, our thing is working very well at 5.5. And then this fellow started fighting, sir, there is no difference between 5.5 and 6. But what previously has defended it? there is a lot of difference between 9 and 9.5. Now we are saying there is no difference between 5.5 and 6. How can you say it is same? So that means it is a new invention. He has not copied you. So you lose the case. That is what meant by history of estoppel. What you talk is recorded in court of law. And that becomes a hurdle when you go next time. Okay. So you should be careful with your infringement. The question now is, sir, if you do this and keep a track, will you gain money? I'll give you one example. This is an electronics examples and electrical. This is the case study. There is a company called Phonar. How many of you know Phonar company? None of you know it. But how many of you know General Electricals? How many of you know Hitachi? Everyone of you know. But no one knows Phonar Corporation. Now I'll show you the case what it is. Phonar Corporation has filed a patent on magnetic resonance imaging. I'll make it short for time constraints. They make a technology magnetic resonance imaging, and they have patented it. Okay, but that patent was stolen by General Electricals as well as Hitachi in their medical instrumentations. Now Phonar filed a case against General Electricals and Hitachi Corporation. This is our technology. They have stolen it. This small technology which is ours, they have stolen it and put it into their instrument. They filed a case and case went on, and finally what happened is Phonar won the case. And Phonar won the case against one company, and they got in revenue of $12.7 million from that company for just stealing away that technology. But if you see the actual turnover of that company, when they make instrument and sell, it is 70 million. Because they allowed someone else to watching and seeing that they are stealing, left it like that without any investment, they got $13 million, which is almost all equivalent to their annual turnover. Then immediately the second company, General Electricals, is lost the case, and Hitachi came running to Phonar saying, sorry, please withdraw the case. We will pay whatever you want. Please withdraw the case against us. And they paid. Now, at least they would have paid the same amount, if not 10. Now, if you combine both, it is $22 million without working. Phonar only technology. But when they worked hard and their annual turnover is less than the profit they made. That is the value of the patents. If there is a very good patent, a lot of money is associated with it. That is the reason today we are focusing on, because Phonar company is IPR sensitized company. They know the value of intellect. That is what the whole focus now everyone is focusing upon. And for good blend of science and law is required to have a good IPR knowledge. Okay, this is just to make you understand the process. It's a process will take 2 to 3 years for completion. Maybe some other time we can talk about. But the things which I want to focus now in short and fast is this, that's called integrated circuits and design, is a new law for electronic chips. As I told you, non-patentable clause, mere arrangement and rearrangement will not be permitted under patents. So now a new IP is created, that is Integrated Circuits and Design Act. Now most of the patents which we have in college comes under Design Act. They are not patents. Patent is something, IP is something. What the college has is design. Design is totally different. Just to make you understand what is the difference between these two, you know better than me in this area. Integrated circuit means a product in its final form or intermediate form with the elements, at least one of is an active elements and some are interconnections, are integrally formed in a piece of material which is intended to perform an electronic function. Because you are taking different things, you are creating a flow chart, chip comes under a design. Okay, chip comes under design. Product alignment, if you claim for whole chip, it comes under integrated circuit, chip protected. You are only claiming for the design, it comes under topography. Okay, so now you can see whether you want to claim for the whole chip with the ingredients or only design, not ingredients. That depends upon you, because previously it doesn't come under patent. As I told you very clearly, under clause 8, you cannot patent it, but under a new IP, which is called integrated circuit and design, you can claim your chips as well as the designs. Okay, and most of our Srinidhi patents which were sanctioned comes under Design Act, not patent. Please try to understand the difference between patents and IP. Patent is exclusively technical based document. It is an invention or innovation or discovery. Okay, just this is a further explanation. I don't want to, because you know better what is semiconductor chip product is. Just to make you understand the same thing in a law statement, you know, semiconductor is more layers of metallic insulating material alignment, whether it is a single alignment or a double alignment or a single chip or multi-layered, anything is fine which falls under this category, but it should have a unique electronic circuit function. It cannot be same like anything else. You should demonstrate functions in a different way compared to something else. Okay, these are all. Now come to trademarks. Trademarks is label. Okay, today we say which company you will buy as a TV, people will say Sony. How many of you know what products, even electronics people, what products they kept inside? Do you know it? Maybe local products. But why we are buying it? Just marks. Sony means reliable company, which includes quality, standard, alignment, whatever you call. All comes under trademarks. Okay, it's one of the most important area of IPR. Identify, perhaps guarantee the quality of goods and service. That is what we say. If I buy Sony, repair, don't need to worry. Warranty period, they will do. Service, they will do. Product will be good. This is what meant by, but unfortunately, none of us know what is inside. None of us know what is inside. Okay, so it could be a logo, word, smell, shape, anything comes under trademark. But very interesting diagrams I will show you how trademarks could be confusing. You know all these trademarks, I don't need to talk about. Today, if Microsoft want to sell this trademark, the value of that is $65 billion. Just this label. The same with Coca-Cola label, $70 billion. Just this label, that's all. I don't know how many of you know, you can save logos by yourself. If someone likes your logos, they will buy it by paying you. Okay, so that is what under trademarks are. These are different trademarks. Okay, these are companies. Now, how to register? As I told you, apply my trademark registry. It is a separate IP. Please don't put it into patents. It is a separate IP. Okay. So by class, examination, all qualities are same. As I told you, it should be novel. It should be non-obvious. It should be some have utility or a quality in it. Then people will grant and automatically you will do. Okay. Some interesting diagrams I will show you. Now, what is the difference between these two bottles? These are all cases. Beauty cosmetic versus Camel Cosmetics. Nile is a very well-known company. Now, this fellow created a similar color bottle, similar design bottle. Rather than Nile, he has written the spelling in this. Pronunciation is same. And when you go and buy this in the market, how you get misled? This is only possible if you know the language. Otherwise, what will happen? Oh, they will see the product is same, color-wise, design-wise, everything they will take. And let me tell you why this came also is, a lot of people think Americans are highly educated and they know everything. They know English very well. English is their mother tongue. There's nothing to know very well. They have to know, like our mother tongues. Okay. but they are also uneducated. They speak in English, but they cannot read English. That is how the product labeling in the market has come out. Every product has to be put, if it's a tomato, full tomato, on the bottle they will show full tomato. If it is a spiced tomato, they will show spiced tomato. Pieces tomato, they will show pieces tomato on the food products. Because from the outside look, I know what is inside. I don't need language for learning for it. Okay. But in that sort of people, this will be a lot of confusion. Similar get up, not accepted under trademarks. Sabina versus Subina. I know a lot of people who wash utensils know very well what is Sabina. Okay, utensil cleaning powder, well-known powder in India. But other fellow with the same design and he put Subina. What is the difference here? Only language. Okay, which is not acceptable. Sabina won the case against Subina. They have to change the trademarks. Now, what is the difference here? Goods different. Okay, what is this? If you see this ad and this ad, what is the difference? The title is same, Mars. This is also Mars. Okay, this is ice cream. Ice cream means people will eat it. This is Mars with the same color, everything. This is the undergarments. Now, can you see what would be the impact of this on this? This is something which you keep in mouth and eat. And this is something which protects the undergarments. The company filed a case on this because they have used the same title, same colors. My people stopped buying ice creams because they are dejected with this image and they stopped buying these ice creams. Okay, so this is also not accepted. Same name, color combinations not accepted. Goods should be different. Titles, even the product is different. Names cannot be copied. The same is with Gopuram temple. What is the difference between Gopuram and temple? Only language difference. Language difference. Otherwise, picture is same. You are putting temple, temple. You are copying all my design, the trademark design. Okay, which is not acceptable. Okay, all this comes under trademarks. This is another thing as a faculty. I don't know whether we have time. I will stop with this copyrights if you have 10 minutes.
Yes, sir, we can continue for 10
Do you have time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll
Yes,
just
sir.
stop with copyrights so that I thought another important. Okay, copyrights, we all know copyrights means copy is our right. But unfortunately, copy is not the right. Copy is called duplication of the existing material. Lot of us, lot of people keep on doing. Okay, when you copy from one paper to another paper, it is called plagiarism. When you do from 10 papers, it is called research. There is a joke on that. Okay, but what meant by copyright is you cannot copy the same style of writings, or you cannot pick up the same lines from one paper to another. Okay, if you talk about subjects today, some subjects of electronics, 10 authors would have written papers, I mean books, and all 10 others are only talking about the same concept. Then why 10 others need to write books on that? Because everyone has their own way of explaining the concept. In the 10 books, you may like one book, I may like one book. That means that right of explaining, you understood it better. I understood the other fellow better. That's why the same concepts are written by many people. So that we don't know what is the expression system of different people, keeping that books are written by authors. Okay, but if they copy the style, then it would be a problem. Okay, now we will see what that is called. Copyrights refers to literary and artistic work. Okay, there is no industrial here. It is only literary and artistic work. It is particularly concerned about protecting creativity and ingenuity. Protect only the form of expression of ideas. Just now I told you, idea is same, book concept is same, but books people are writing in their own way of explanation. That is called expression, form of expression. of ideas, not the ideas themselves. Idea is already known. Idea is known. Only they are explaining in their own way. That is what book writing or any research writing is. Most legislations require fixation as a condition for protection. If you protect, it is safe. As I told you, there is a government body, there is a document, you can fight. But copyrights, it does not require protection also. If you have a copy which you have written, that is sufficient enough to fight. But what is important is you have to prove that you have written it. That is the problem. Okay, you have to prove you have to written it. But if you protect, it is already documented. Fighting becomes easy. But in copyright, it is not mandatory that you have to protect. Okay, it is left to the individuals. You can protect it or create a document and tomorrow you can fight it. Fight becomes difficult, that's all. Okay, if you protect, it becomes easy. If you don't protect, still you can win, but you have to fight a little bit stronger to show that is your creation. Okay, so protection also is irrespective of the quality of work. Suppose if I draw a picture of horse and it ended up like a donkey, it is my own creation. Quality is not important. Creation is important. That is what modern art is today. Modern art, only some people understand, not all people understand. But it is a creation. Whoever is understanding will buy it. That is their thing. They will pay high and buy it. Who doesn't understand will say, what is this? We are not able to understand all this. So quality is not assessed in copyrights. Please keep this in mind. But quality is assessed in all other technical IPs. But when it comes to copyrights, quality is not the issue at all. Worst film is also protected. Good film is also protected. Useless film is also protected. Okay, cinematography also comes under this. So quality, that's why I said protection is irrespective of the quality of what. Okay. Now copyright is exclusively, as I told, it could be literary, dramatic, musical work, artistic work, cinematography films, records, whatever it is. Okay, all comes under protection. Just to make you understand this literary written material, you all know this, dramatic or musical artistic, films and audiovisual materials, sound recording, computer programs and softwares come under copyright as a separate norm. Okay, because I don't have time, I will not focus too much on this. Computer programming and software development comes under copyrights. They are not patents. They comes under copyrights. Some databases all comes under copyrights. Okay, that's why what is, I said, automatic right. You don't need to protect also. Anything you write is your right. If you write a poem, whether it is good or bad, whatever it is, that poem is yours forever. If someone copies, you can sue him because you have the document to show it is yours. But if you protect, fighting becomes easy. That's all. No requirement to register also. Okay. Rights refer to other or property to prevent from stealing from others. If you protect, it becomes easy. As I told you, fighting becomes easy. All that is same thing, publishing, issuing, selling. This is what we normally do in most of the institutions. Publishing, issuing or selling copies to the public or xeroxing. Okay, Xerox books is against the law of copyrights. You cannot Xerox books and that to n number of copies and keep it with us. It is a crime under copyrights. Okay, then the question comes, sir, we are Xeroxing so many articles, is it right or wrong? Just to make you understand, under copyrights, there is something called exceptions. What is exceptions? Fair use, fair dealing. That means if I take a book, one chapter I want, I cannot buy whole book for that chapter. Henceforth, fair use. I can Xerox and keep that paper. But if I distribute that paper to other colleagues and say, I already Xerox, you take, now you are punishable. Please try to understand. Fair use is accepted. You Xerox, you keep, you read is accepted. But the same article now you circulate to your friends. Arey, why you are wasting? I have that copy. You take, you take, you take, you take, you take. Punishable. The same is with movies. CD. If you are renting a CD, you have the right to see at home. But if you invite 10 people and see that movie, police can arrest you when they come to your house because it is under copy violation. That you have rented for your purpose, not to call people and show. That is why that centers are questionable. Pubs and other things, they question because you are not permitted to show into the public on a single screen and make money. That fellow has to get money, not you. So that is what meant by fair use. You can Xerox for yourself, but don't circulate or make it as a group act, then it becomes punishable. Is it clear? I made it clear. Anything is Xerox, as long as it is a fair use, no one will question. Okay. So how to protect? As I told you, if you protect, it will be projected like this. Any protection books, if you see it is closed, means it is protected. If it is C without this, means not protected, but it is own automatic right. Okay. So you will have that on the books or other things to see whether that is protected or not. Types of infringement: if someone steals away, there are civil, criminal, and administrative crimes. As I already talked in infringements. And I don't know whether I have a case here or not. And the life, like patent, I told you 20 years. Copyrights is minimum 50 years, are over and above the lifespan of the author, and it can go next to the family also. Okay, so copyrights has more value, like Mona Lisa painting. I don't know when he has painted. The right will be with them forever. Okay, so copyrights have a longer duration of rights than compared to patents. Okay, but unfortunately it is missing here. I normally show in the students copyrights. This happened in Harvard University. Just I'm giving you an example because I always give this example in the class for students. As I told you, we always feel copyright is my right. You all know when you give an assignment, how many people write the assignment in original form? Maybe 3 or 4 students write in original form. Okay, the rest all copy that. Not only that, they will copy including language errors, everything, because they are not putting their brain, just they are copying what is written in that paper. And it is easy to identify who is the originator and rest are the copies. At least I used to tell all these years my students, you bring that 4 original copies to me, I will correct. I don't want to waste my time for the 60 copies. I will correct 4 and give you back. Rest you correct. Be honest, otherwise I will tell you who the 4 originals are. And I showed them multiple times. From next time onward, they bring that 4 originals to me. I will correct and give it. Our job becomes easy. Correction will also be done because everyone does a copy. The same thing happened today because of the internet technology. These are cases happened in Harvard University. A teacher has given an open book examination. Okay, and he made it very clear in that examination, you should not talk to your friends while writing, before or after writing the exam. You should not see any internet, or you should not do group discussions, or like we say combined studies. Nothing should be done. Okay, and he has given a questions like you all give assignments, and how students look for the material in the assignments. Now, Harvard University, there are 250 students for that subject who have submitted the assignments or the open book exam. And out of that, 178 people were detained or stopped for evaluation because they claimed it as plagiarism. That means they copied from each other. 178 people were stopped for giving degrees. Okay. In that case, what actually happened is one of the professor well-wishers, like all our teachers, he took up the case. He said, sir, it is not a copy at individual level. It is a copy of internet-based copying. What is that internet-based copying is? Today, if you give an assignment to a student, what he will do, or any one of us, that is what the Narasimha Reddy garu says, PPTs people are copying. They are taking PPTs from other place. No problem, you take it. But whatever PPTs are there, we need to understand it and put into our orientation of teaching. Don't keep the same PPT because we cannot fit into that orientation. We have to readjust that PPTs into our orientation. Otherwise, what happens when a student or someone asks a question, you will be get caught. You have downloaded, but it is not yours because you are not following the orientation. Okay. So the same thing he said, when you put internet, 10 papers will come. What students will do? 100 papers or 50 papers will come. What they will do? Every student, or including us, will take the top 3, hoping that is the best 3. They took that top 3 and started summarizing. So all the statements of 178 are from the top 3, even though they prepared individually, not talking to each other, but the material source is same, and henceforth the text and information has remained exactly the same. And evaluators said, sorry, they copied it. And the case went to the court, and out of 178, 100 people were proven that they not interacted with each other. Unfortunately, this is the internet technology based copying. They just, without realization, without putting their ideas of expression, they just took the statements from those papers, and that is what led to that copy act. Okay, that is what looked to the Copy Act, and henceforth they were saved. Other 78 of the students, somehow they've interacted, somehow they were sitting next to each other while doing the survey like that. So all 78 degrees were cancelled. So that is the value of copyright. And now I leave it to you, faculty, when we assess our group projects, when we assess our projects, when we do assignments, you know what is happening. Okay, so that is what meant by copyright is a big violation when you go to Western universities. Unfortunately, that is not taken seriously in academic institutions in India. But at least I always used to tell my students and give that example. For the same is novel writing. Another Indian girl suffered a lot. She lost name and everything. But due to the lack of time, I cannot put it here. But I have always presented those cases to students to make them realize what is the importance of self-expression. Okay, I think with that, this is the last one as a general information for Indian point of view. I told you, we always think India is a very country which doesn't have so many ifs and buts in terms of technologies and other things. But in terms of traditional knowledge, India is a very, 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 very big traditional knowledge indicator. Today, there is a new IP for that. It is called geographical indicators. Our traditional values can be protected under this. And a simple example, I will ask you, when someone working in your house get a small cut or something bleeding, what you do immediately if you don't have any medications at home?
Turmeric.
If you see your grandmother for someone, turmeric powder, excellent. Turmeric powder there. Who said turmeric will heal it? Did you, yeah, you said it. Now, how you came to know it? Because your parents or grandfathers were using for years. It's a tradition.
Yes.
Why they did it? The person who did it know that knowledge. But unfortunately, knowledge is not transmitted. And you don't believe it is called today because of curcumin. America filed a patent that turmeric protects healing system. And India fought, and that patent was disqualified. They said, even if you ask our great grandmother, they will tell. You go to your village and ask an unpad, he will tell. So that is our traditional knowledge. It is nothing new. And hence the same today, I don't know how many of you know, all there also they look for uniqueness and quality and reputation. Today, everything is protected under that. It is called Pochumpalli sarees, Darjeeling tea, Tirupati laddu, Bengal's what we call as Rasgulla. Every state is patenting their traditional foods, their traditional information, their traditional because it's called geographical indicators. That means location specific flavors. If I ask basmati rice, which state comes to your mind first? Basmati rice. Any one of you in the attendees, basmati rice, the most famous is Punjab. Biryani rice. Okay. And US filed a case. US took this basmati rice seeds and grown in Texas in their country, and they named it Texamati and started selling that rice. Indian government filed a case. How can you do that? It is not, quality is not because of the rice, quality is because of the land of Punjab, geographical value. And US lost that case. Actually, initially they named it Basmati. So government said you cannot use that name. So the name is changed into Texamati, means rice grown in Texas. Texamati, not Basmati. Okay, so that is the value of geographical indicators. We have so many medicinal values, so many food flavors, so many things, which is unique. And that unique government is patenting now. These are all examples: Basmati rice, Navara, Kangra, Salim fabrics, Orissa. The whole intellectual property rights have given 10 years time to file all GIs so that tomorrow there won't be any problem in terms of geographical indicators. So every state is actively associated in protecting their own quality materials. Okay, with that I will stop. And thanks very much for giving me this opportunity to share my views of what I generally know in short, but not a typical expert, but it is just an information I'm sharing. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Any
sir.
queries you have,
It is a
I will
very
be very
interactive
happy to
session.
share.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any doubts you have, I will share.
Audience-
It's up to you. Any audience, feel free. If you have doubts, I can cover. There are some questions, maybe I will just go through it and see. Yes, umbrella question we have addressed. Bag, we have used bag sets. Yeah, all that I told you, what is obvious and non-obvious thinking bags. Use cover
Yes, any
above
doubts,
your head.
any audience?
Any,
Or
please
anything you
feel
want
free.
to ask?
Like use of external objects, the same question. I think
Yes, sir.
there are no more questions. Anyway, you can feel free to approach me anytime. Okay. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for
You're
joining.
welcome. You're welcome. Thank you
Thank
very
you, sir.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank
be
you to
safe.
all the students.
Be safe and be healthy.
Thank
All
you,
the
sir.
best.
Thank you so much. Thank
Should
you
I
all
stop now?
also. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can.
Okay. Then I will leave and you can carry ahead with your program. Okay. Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Have a nice day, sir.
You too.
Thank you all the students for joining in. Have a good day, all of you. And if you have any doubts or anything you want to ask, you can text me or mail me. I can forward it to sir, or I can give you the contact of sir also. So thank you all for joining in. Have a good day. Stay safe. Thank you all. Thank you so much.